Hey, you, I need you to hit the subscribe button below.
Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. I want to start off by saying thank you to all of our Booster Club members for your many donations and much more, your prayers. We visited faraway countries and strange lands. We've even spoken to dignitaries and were detained for spreading the glorious gospel in Cuba. The truth is that the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel were scattered throughout the world. Help us on our journey as we continue to raise up the nation of Israel. 12 tribes worldwide. Join or donate today. Shalom.
Suicide is something that's very personal to a family. A lot of times people try to keep that under wraps because of how...
Now, if I get this straight, he said he went through this period because of the pandemic and the quarantine before his brother committed suicide. Okay, just for the record.
Right, yes.
He didn't say he was depressed because...
No. He was depressed because of, as you mentioned, the quarantine.
Yes.
But he says his brother's been dealing...
All right, so this video right here is with our brother Shannon Sharp, right? And we have Skip Bayless, right? Now they're talking about a brother named Dak Prescott. He's the quarterback for what Skip calls America's team.
Right.
America's team, right?
Team.
Now the brother is going through some hard times right now. His younger brother, one of his brothers, just committed suicide, right? And his mother passed away. So he just don't feel like playing football right now. Right. Got the COVID-19 now. Right. He's stuck in the house. He don't feel like doing no push-ups. He ain't feeling it.
Right.
So Skip feels a certain type of way about this. All right. So we gonna get it real quick.
with things.
That's a whole nother... Yeah,
right.
okay.
But I'm saying the reason why I believe Dak is opening up about this is because...
Okay, that's fine.
He felt that because his brother never opened up, he never came to grips with what transpired with his mom because he was home watching what the cancer was doing to her. And he really never opened up about it. And Dak says, I don't want to travel down that road. I want to share with someone what's going on with me and that I wasn't in a very good place. And I think the thing is, Skip, is that him opening up about it, because we didn't know. We just thought it was just natural causes. And I guess some people knew. Obviously, the coroner knew, but that's information that you're not getting out. And how TMZ wasn't able to get this information because they get everything. But for me, Skip, for Dak to share that information, clearly that's tough. They're a very close family. If I'm not mistaken, Skip, it's all boys. And I think this was a family affair because in the commercials that you see, Dak, I think Campbell's Chunky Soup, Skip, is his brothers. And they do a lot of things. They're all involved in Dak's affairs. And I can imagine the anguish, the toil that it took on Dak because, man, we're finally starting to reach that plateau where we're growing up and, thinking about what we're going to be and how we're going to do this for mom. And here we are finally starting to do this. And it just goes to show you, Skip, you never know what a person's going through. And no matter how good you might think it is, because you look at where Dak is ascending to, and there's no question that he's taking care of his brothers, he was dealing with something that money couldn't, fame couldn't get him out of.
Yep.
And Dak says, and so my brother had some issues that he didn't seem to be willing to open up and share and talk about. And Dak says, that's not something that I want to do. I want to
pause. I just want you to look at Skip's facial expressions the whole time. He's just like,
right.
Just come on, Shannon, just wrap it up, okay? let's get through this, all right? Like, he don't even want to deal with this segment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, play.
I want to share it. I want to talk about it. I don't want to be in that dark place anymore because I can imagine, going from COVID to brother suicide. Man, Skip, that's a lot on a young man's plate.
Okay, all well said from you. All very good points. I'm going to disqualify myself right up front on this question. I'm the wrong one to ask about this when it comes to him as the face of that franchise of America's team.
Hold on 1 second. Now, notice what he said.
Right.
I don't have the feelings about him being the face of America's franchise.
Right.
Is it him? Is it him, or will he accept somebody else?
Exactly.
There's a question. Keep playing.
I'm going to ask our audience to feel free to go ahead and condemn me if you choose as cold-blooded and insensitive on this issue. I have deep compassion for clinical depression, but when it comes to the quarterback of an NFL team,
you see how he two-tongued?
Yep.
He said I have compassion for mental health, but clinically, when it comes to the quarterback of my team, meaning when you're a slave on my plantation,
Right.
we don't have room for big bucks to have emotions, my brother. That's what he said. Give me I want to deal with this. That's why you wanted that article. Go to Sirach 38 and start at 17. Let's start at verse 16, actually. Because mental health is an issue amongst our brothers and sisters. When you read Deuteronomy 28th chapter, it tells you that we're going to be destroyed.
Right.
The stuff that we deal with, somebody had wrote Bishop, gave him a great quote. It says, the life of a black man is not normal. What we deal with ain't normal. The stress that we feel on a day-to-day basis is not normal. You worrying about being pulled over by the police is not normal.
Right.
You worrying about your children. You worrying about your next paycheck. All these things are not normal.
Right.
These are curses that were placed on us.
Right.
Now we've learned to adapt, but it ain't normal. Read that. Start there, 16.
The book of Sirach, chapter 38 and verse 16.
And this is dealing with on the mental health side, as far as because he dealt with suicide from his
brother,
and then his mother died. And his dad had passed along a while back too. So now he's losing basically his whole family at this point.
Right.
Read that.
My son, let tears fall down over the dead.
So if anybody ever tell you can't cry over a loved one being gone, that's not scriptural. That's not scriptural. Read.
And begin to lament. As if thou hadst suffered great harm thyself.
Read.
And then cover his body according to the custom.
Then cover the body according to the custom. Read.
And neglect not his burial.
So you're supposed to bury the body. All right? Keep reading.
Weep bitterly.
Do what?
Weep bitterly.
Skip Bayless said, Skip said, not when you America's quarterback. You can't do that, boss. I'm sorry. You can't weep bitterly. Read.
And make great moan. And use lamentation. As he is worthy. And that a day or two.
Right, that a day or two. He in his off season. He like, hey, bro, it's been a hard off season.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. He taking his day or two to get his mind right.
Right.
Read.
Lest thou be evil spoken of. And then comfort thyself for thy heaviness.
Now, this is for you brothers and sisters that are watching the show that deal with death on any type of level or deal with stress at all. I'm going to show you what God says. Read verse 18.
Verse 18. For of heaviness cometh death.
For what?
For of heaviness cometh death.
For of heaviness cometh death. A lot of times, this is more so the sisters. Brothers tend to get over stuff, but it happens to the men as well.
Right.
When you got a heavy spirit all the time and you make so much out of everything, that's how you bring death upon yourself. You got to learn to let things go and move on to the next day or the next after you've properly lamented.
Right.
This is why I went here, because what Skip is saying, hey, nah, we don't have time for that as the quarterback of the Cowboys. You have a very important position to play.
Right.
You don't have time to do that. Because Brett Favre did it. When Brett Favre daddy died, he played the next day.
That's what
But guess what? Brett Favre had his father in his life. He had a normal lifestyle, I'm pretty sure. He didn't have to deal with all the other stuff that people of color deal with here in America. But if any of y'all else, if y'all want to continue, you have something on that? You want to go?
Yeah, I got something on that. Go to Lamentations chapter 2, verse 2. Because this goes back to, it's not just Skip Bayless that feels like this.
Right.
It's everybody.
Yep.
All of them. This whole people. There are evil people.
Yep. You ain't lying.
They show that. As a matter of fact, I just thought about this. This is the same man I seen in another segment where when the Cowboys come on, he kick his own wife out the house. She got to go to a hotel because she's bad luck for the Cowboys. Look it up. I'm not making it up. All right, read that. Lamentations chapter 2, verse 2.
The book of Lamentation, chapter 2, and verse 2. The Lord had swallowed up all the The Lord had swallowed up all the habitations of Jacob and had not pitied. He had thrown down his wrath with the strongholds of the daughter of Judah.
Read.
He had brought them down to the ground.
So the Lord has humbled us in this captivity. Read on.
He hath polluted the kingdom and the princes thereof.
So that goes back to what we was talking about earlier. If the brother don't want to play football, he don't got to play football. Now jump to verse 15 in the same chapter.
Lamentations chapter 2 and verse 15. All that passed by.
So now, after we've been thrown and cast down to the ground, this is what has happened. This is the result of today. Read.
Clap their hands at thee.
So it says all that passed by. Meaning the other nations. Skip Bayless don't give a damn that your mama died. Don't give a damn that your brother died. Don't give a damn that you are suffering from post-traumatic slave syndrome as well.
And wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem.
So that's what they do. They hiss and nag. It said they hiss and wag their head at the daughters of Jerusalem. Read on.
Saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty?
Because all they really want us to do is sing, dance, play sports, and do all these different things. But yet they know we God's greatest people, and they got us in the spot that they wanted us in. Why? Because of sin. That's why it behooves us to repent today.
That's absolutely correct. Keep playing. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dan. You got it.
Yeah. I was going to bring out one. Deuteronomy 28 and 49.
Yeah.
Because we just watched another video before with the sister saying there was two nations, right? And two manner of people, right? So Skip is one of those nations. That nation is called Esau or the Edomites.
Right.
Let's see how that nation feels about our nation. Read that real quick.
Bring it out. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
So if you look at America today, the symbol of America is the eagle. When we look at Rome, the Spain, France, Germany, all these different nations of the Caucasian race, their symbol is the eagle. So when we look at the scripture, what we're seeing is that this nation is the nation of Esau. Read on.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation of fierce countenance.
Of fierce countenance. Why? Because they came to slay us and destroy us. Read on.
Which shall not regard the person of
feel like that. I don't get it. I don't know why you feel pain, because I don't regard your emotions or your feelings.
That's heavy.
That's Esau.
Hey, and you know what's funny about that? Because like you've been hitting on already, they always do that. Because when all the Black Lives Matter the whole time, all people of privilege, white privilege, they always say, come explain to me what's going on, because I don't really understand. The quarterback of Clemson, he just recently said, I'm not trying to be basically the face of this movement, but what I recently found out is that the America that I enjoy is not what my teammates have enjoyed. You mean to tell me you never heard of slavery?
Exactly.
You never heard of people being brought here on slave ships?
He was speaking from privilege.
Right. You never seen your brothers and sisters locked up in prisons?
Hey,
you never seen the black people like that?
Hey, when you don't live in those neighborhoods.
Right. I guess, it don't exist.
And you don't go to those schools.
Damn. That's heavy.
And you don't shop at the same grocery store.
Right. You live a life where we don't even exist.
Right.
That is true.
Exactly.
The only black person you see is who you throw the ball to on Friday nights, and he look happy to you then.
Right.
Hey.
And the man that comes
Tyrone look happy to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
you scored a touchdown.
Right. I threw for 4,000 yards to black men last last year. They was, hey, they look like they eat well and they run fast.
Right.
And they carry me on their shoulders when we win.
Right. But they always do that. That's that goes back to the what's the training that they make you do? Sensitivity training.
Yeah.
The white man is such a vile creature that he has to set up sensitivity training.
Right.
Here's the kicker. It's taught by other vile white men.
Yes.
So it's like, bruh, come on. Like, all of those should be ran by black men to teach you.
Right.
But that ain't going to work either because they deaf.
Because this is why. Give me Habakkuk 2 and 4. This is why right here.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
Yep. It says his soul which is lifted up. He started off by saying, look, y'all can condemn me if you want.
Right.
Like, really, I'm going to make it plain. I really don't give a damn what y'all think.
Right.
Keep playing it.
You know this as well as better than I do. It's the ultimate leadership position in sports. Am I right about that? Mm-hmm. You are commanding an entire franchise. What's the roster now? Is it 53 still?
53, but I think they...
I want y'all to keep in mind what he just said. Matter of fact, go back about 10 seconds because we got another... What Skip got to say about his boy. All right, go ahead, play that again.
It's the ultimate leadership position in sports. Am I right about that? Mm-hmm. You are commanding an entire franchise. What's the roster now? Is it 53 still?
53, but I think they got like 15 practice squad guys.
Okay. But you're commanding a lot of young men and some older men. And they're all looking to you to be their CEO, to be in charge of the football team. Because of all that, I don't have sympathy for him going public with, I got depressed. I suffered depression early in COVID to the point that I couldn't even go work out. Look, he's the quarterback of America's team. And you know and I know, this sport that you play, it is dog eat dog. Mm-hmm. It is no compassion, no quarter given on the football field. If you reveal publicly any little weakness, it can affect your team's ability to believe in you in the toughest spots, and it definitely can encourage others on the other side.
Yeah.
You know, how many touchdown passes has Skip Bayless thrown?
Right.
0.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How many times he handed off?
Right.
You know, or got sacked by somebody 350 pounds running a 4.8 40 or something, right? He's never experienced that on top of what the young man is going through right now, right?
Right.
So I just want to pull the scripture right quick. Give me Nehemiah 9 and 36.
Yep.
Why do our people go through the things that we go through? Because y'all made a great point earlier. And we can read it in the scriptures, but we were bought over here to build up this nation for them. Well, we were bought over here as a punishment.
Right.
But for them, we build up their nation and entertain them.
Right.
Anything else? They don't want to hear about it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Read that. 36, 37.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 36. 9 verse 36.
Brothers, you all right?
Yeah, I'm straight.
Dang.
I'm excited. Nah. Behold, we are servants this day, and for the land that thou gavest unto our fathers, to eat the fruit thereof and the good thereof. Behold, we are servants in it, and it yielded much increase unto the kings whom they has set over us.
Whom thou hast set over us.
Oh, excuse me.
Go
Whom
ahead.
thou hast set over us because of our sins. Also, they have dominion over our bodies.
That's the point right there.
Yep.
They have dominion over our bodies. And you know what? When somebody knows that they have dominion over you, they care less about you.
Yep.
They don't. You know what? The only thing he wants from Dak is stay healthy, stay upright, so you can keep throwing that ball.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's why you can't rationalize with anything they're going on with. You like, bro, I own you. You are a tool.
Right.
It's kind of like how when your computer ain't working right, you be like, what is wrong with this thing?
Right.
Get right. I don't have time for you to do a restart right now. I'm trying to get something finished.
Function for a reason.
Dak trying to restart. And he say, no, man. I'm trying to get something done right now.
Dang.
But somebody has said something about Shannon always trying to reason with Skip, because that's what they do. This is talk television. You always have one point of view, then you have another.
Right.
So he knows he's not really going to change his mind.
Exactly.
It's all a ploy. But anyway, outside of that, go to Psalm 64. Because what you got to understand about Psalms 58, Psalms 58. About Esau is, it don't matter who talking to him, they not listening.
They ain't listening.
Their ears are wide shut. All day, all night. They never hear nothing you saying, man.
As soon as he was done,
Right. Yep. Right. There you go. Read that.
The book of Psalm, chapter 58 and verse 4.
Bring it out.
Uh-huh.
Their poison is like the poison of a serpent.
Uh-huh.
They are like the deaf adder.
They are what?
They are like the deaf adder.
The Bible says they are like the deaf adder. Esau is a snake, and he's a deaf snake at that. I don't even know. Can snakes hear? If they did, the Most High probably took their ears off anyway.
You're a white man.
So it says like a deaf adder. They don't hear nothing you say. Like you say, it's like when you at camp and you teaching certain people.
Right.
You know the whole time they really not listening. So what do? You like, hey, I'm going to bring it out anyway. Lord's will, somebody on the video will catch it. But all he doing is waiting for you to finish.
Right.
So he can say his 2 cents.
Right.
That's how Esau always has been. We'll finish that scripture. He's like the deaf adder.
They are like the deaf adder.
That what?
That stoppeth her ear.
That what?
That stoppeth her ear.
Read.
Which will not hearken to the voice of the charmers.
Which what?
Which will not hearken to the voice of charmers.
Which will not hearken to the voice of charmers. That's why, and it's funny, it seems like we're going over the same stuff every week, but we're seeing the same things on the news. Esau don't want to reason with you because he knows he has dominion over you. He don't want to reason with you because his lies have taught him that he's better than you, that you're less than a man. You're 3/5 of a man. Like you was trying to bring out in the book, that you can handle more pain than anybody else. That's what the Tuskegee experiment was about.
Right.
They wanted to show, hey man, these people can go through anything pretty much.
Right.
And we got to do that as a show, the medical apartheid. I was saying that we haven't done that show yet. But their minds are completely different. They don't reason with anything that you say. They're not trying to.
Hey, that's why that sister was like, I've been waiting all my life to shame you.
Right.
Meanwhile, Esau ain't listened to a damn word she said.
You're right.
Yep.
All right, go ahead, keep playing.
Come after you. You throw an interception, you're going to hear, you depressed number 4, you get that sort of thing. You get sacked. How'd that feel? You getting down about it? You just can't go public with it, in my humble opinion. So now I got to declare, who have I always been? I grew up I had a rough childhood, broken home, just soaked with alcohol. I had some really low moments in my childhood. And I just kept fighting. I fought through every one of them. I've had some low moments professionally where some dark times happened, and you've been through it too. And you know, and I know, you just fight. You got to fight back. You can't give in to the depression. You try.
Just for a second. You know what's ironic about what he's saying now? Not only the fake sympathy, but all you got to do is stand around Esau for about 3 seconds. He will begin to tell you his whole life story.
Right.
He'll tell you about everything he's been through. That's what he's doing now. About a little rotten brother or sister that ran off with a black guy, or he'll tell you his whole story. You know what I'm saying? But yet it still don't compare to what we gone through.
Right, exactly.
It still don't compare to what we gone through.
And that's what they fail to understand. Whatever we open up about, that's just what we think we're dealing with. But there's so many layers underneath that we don't even know. Like Officer Aaron brought out the post-slavery traumatic syndrome. They don't understand that. They don't get it. So now when the brother opens up, now what you want to do? You want to compare what you're going through. You can't compare with us. Daniel 9:12. You cannot compare to us at all. Nobody can. Yep. Nah, I was going to let you bring it out. Can they hear me? I feel like my voice low. All right. Great day.
Yes, sir. The book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 12.
Uh-huh.
and he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing up us a great evil.
A what?
Bringing upon us a great evil.
The Most High God brought upon us a great evil. Read.
For under the whole heaven had not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem.
You see that? Nobody or nothing can compare to what the black, Hispanic, and Native American man deals with.
Right.
Nobody knows what it's like.
Try to rise above it because it's just how you're built. It's how I'm built.
Right.
I believe it's how that man is built. Rise above it. I got to tell you, it's been a long time since I was more stunned by quotes than what he told, I think it was Graham Benzinger in the interview that's going to air tonight, maybe?
I think the thing is, Skip, is that, like you always tell me, you like to place yourself in that position.
I do.
And you probably wouldn't have shared what Dak shared.
You just can't, for the good of your franchise and your football team, and in the end,
what good,
your own psyche.
But what good is that, Skip, if you don't share it, but you're dealing with it internally?
You just got to. I get what you're saying. Sometimes it's better just to get it out.
Yes, and that's what he said.
Okay. I just don't know if you're the quarterback of America's team, a team that I think has got a shot to get to this year's Super Bowl, certainly got a shot to win the division and make the playoffs, which they did not do last year.
Skip,
you can't go public with that, even though you say this could help a lot of people out there who are truly suffering from a clinically diagnosed depression.
Skip, I think the thing is that you have to understand. I understand that he plays quarterback. He's the face of a franchise. But at the end of the day, I'll take all that away. He's still human. And there's a human element of this. And sometimes people think because we play this sport, because we're good at a sport, we don't have feelings, we don't have emotions. He's human. He's human. And think about this.
Stop that. Wow. So when he's saying he's human, Esau is saying, I don't agree. Have you seen him throw whoa, gosh, up. Have you? All right. Turn me down.
Hey, what he was saying is, no, he's 3/5 of a human.
There you go. Wow. He couldn't comprehend that this man is a regular human being just like everybody else.
Right.
All right.
So
hello. All right, there we go.
Hey, so now that Dwell, get that last video and start at 250. I sent you that last video because now he's given all these qualifications for the quarterback.
Right.
He can't show that.
Right.
I know his mom died, his brother died, but he's got to be stronger than that. So now we're going to look at one of his Dak's Edomite counterparts who got his daddy, got his mama, got his brothers, sisters. But he just threw too many damn interceptions in a game. Let's see how he responded.
The next day that I just felt that Leaf was out of line.
Jay came in to interview him, and he went off.
Don't talk to me, all right? Knock it off!
Later that day.
So, because he had a bad game, not got deaf at home. He had a bad game. Leave it there. He had a bad game and he had a meltdown.
Right.
All right. He had his teammates, one of which was in the clip. He died. He committed suicide because of what they call CT.
Right.
CTE. Right. Junior Seau. Right. Keep playing it.
Day after he yelled at me, he read an apology on camera.
I misdirected my anger after the Kansas City game. I was extremely disappointed in my performance, and I let it show.
He read the piece of paper, and then he crumpled it up and threw it back into his locker.
So even when the coach and the administration made him go apologize, that apology wasn't sincere.
Right.
Going back to what you just read in Psalms 58.
Right. So going back to with the Dak situation, when Shannon is telling him at the end of the day, he's a human. He's a man just like everybody else. They can't reason with that. Go to Psalms 83. Right. Because in their mind, we're only here to do one thing. Not Psalms 133. I want Psalms 137. Psalms 137. This is what Esau sees from us, and only this. Start at verse 1.
The book of Psalm, chapter 137 and verse 1. By the rivers of Babylon.
If you didn't know, Babylon is America. That's where we at today. We are in Mystery Babylon, the daughter of Babylon. Read.
There we sat down. Yea, we wept.
We what?
We wept.
That's what the brother's doing. He's weeping because he's feeling the curses. His mom died of cancer, which is what? Deuteronomy 28:61. His brother died of suicide, which is Deuteronomy 28:59, probably because the doggone the pressures of this world took him out. Because he can't deal with all the curses that's going on. Right. Read.
When we remembered Zion.
When we remembered Zion. Read.
We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there they that carried us away required of us a song.
They what?
For there they that carried us away captive required of us a song.
They require of us a song. That's what we're seeing right here. He's not singing, but he's entertaining. That's what that's going into. Throw the football and be the leader of my football team. That's him requiring of him a song. He like, I ain't got time for emotions. I ain't got time for mental health issues. I ain't got time for press releases. I need you to get behind that man, take that snap, and make it happen. Because we got a shot at going to the Super Bowl this year.
Right.
Read. And they that wasted us required of us mirth.
Saying what?
Saying, sing us one of those songs of Zion.
You see that? He said, hey, play like you've been playing the last 7 years. Right. And I don't want to hear any back talk. Read.
How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land?
And that's what Dak is trying to explain right now. Right. Hey, I'm going through a lot. I'm in a strange situation. I'm losing my family members left and right. We got the Black Lives Matter going on. We got COVID-19 going on. Right. How can I do what I'm supposed to do in this situation? Read.
If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning.
So what we're showing you is that these people do not have any concern for our well-being. No, right. They only want you for entertainment. You are goods. That's why there's an owner of the team, and there's players, and you're a free agent, and you get picked up and you get cut.
Right. Sent to a new plantation.
Right. Me and Daniel was talking about this earlier. What they'll hold against us is, why you say it? Look how much money we paying you.
Right. And that go back to the Donald Sterling comment years back. He said, I feed them, I give them houses, they get paid well.
Yep. This go back to Nehemiah when they talk about them having dominion over our bodies. How is it that Esau is the only people on the earth that can tell everybody how they're supposed to feel about every situation?
Hey, and you know what's heavy about that? To the fact that Bruce Jenner can say, I don't feel like being a man anymore. Right. He turns into a woman and gets praised for it. Right. Yeah.
He
the
needs
quarterback
some milk.
just saying he's dealing with some mental health issues and he gets, nah, you can't do that, boss.
Right. Hey, and going back to what y'all played with the Ryan Leaf thing, I remember an argument about how they were saying Tom Brady get fired up just like that, cuts people out on the sideline. But then if somebody like a Michael Vick or a Cam Newton or somebody do it, they're angry. They're being a bad leader.
Hey, they did that with OBJ last year.
Right, yeah.
Because he throwing the stuff and all that. They demonize you. Whenever black Hispanic, whenever we act out, we have an issue inside of us. Right. He's a bad batch. Right. He's not a normal nigga. But when black people, when Esau does this, all of them do it. It's no word.
They're fiery.
Right. Yeah, right. Fiery spirit. He's an ultimate competitor.
Right.
But it goes back to what we was hitting on last week, dealing with dang, it just left my mind. I remember it again.
Hey, what you said was heavy, Officer Aaron, because you said they always have to tell you whether or not or how you feel.
Right.
That goes back to his first statement. He said, I could understand if you're clinically depressed. Or if you ever because what? They have determined, Esau has determined you're depressed.
Black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.